You're listening to the Self-Made is a Myth, Make a Difference Together show with your host, Coach Tim Campsall, where we talk with successful business owners to hear the stories of their journeys in building their successful businesses. And more importantly, we recognize the folks who help them excel because we know that achieving business success is not something we can do on our own.
Hello, everyone. This is Coach Tim Campsall, and I'm excited to have a fellow business owner with us today. Something unique about my guest is she's trying to learn how to play golf and get good at it this summer. In her downtime, she enjoys exercising and relaxing, and she's most proud of having both the strength and the confidence to keep running her business as she enters into year 5. It's my pleasure to welcome Samantha to the show today. Hi, Samantha.
Hi, thank you, Tim. Thanks for letting me be here today with you.
Awesome. Well, hey, let's start with having you introduce yourself. So tell us your full name and a little bit of your personal story, like where you were born and live and about your family and hobbies.
All right, so my name is Samantha Stipp, and I am from Indiana, of course. I grew up in the area of Westfield, Indiana. I studied school at Ball State University, and now I currently live in Indianapolis in a neighborhood called Broad Ripple. So I am a full-blooded Hoosier, I guess you could say. I grew up, obviously with my parents. I have a younger brother who is 4 years younger than me. Exciting news. Him and his wife are expecting a child in December. So I will be an aunt here soon. So super excited for that. I am married to my husband, Tom. We've been married for 5 years, but been together for about 10. And we actually have 3 dogs. So we've got Bear, Bailey, and Knox. And yeah, we just hang out and we have a great time. So that's kind of a little bit about me as far as kind of my background. In regards to hobbies, like you kind of said earlier, I have been learning golf this summer. It's been going well. My husband tends to not want to take me out as often as I would like because I need more practice. But when I do practice, I believe it goes well. I could probably practice more, but with summer and stuff, things just get busy. But definitely been learning that. I also enjoy traveling. We just got back from a trip in Tennessee, and my husband and I have never been to Europe before. So we booked a trip to France and London in December. So we're both kind of really excited to explore those cities and stuff like that. So
fantastic. That's awesome. Me. So with the golf, what's your best club? What do you feel most comfortable using?
The 7.
Right.
I don't know if they actually have names, but I know like the numbers. I like the 7 and the 9. The driver I need some work on. But what also is kind of funny too is I'm a lefty, so everything I do is like left-handed. I write left-handed, I kick left-footed. And when I was kind of practicing golf, all of my people I was with were right-handed. And so anytime we would do things, I would hit right-handed. And so when I finally got to take lessons, the guy was like, well, let's try your left side just because you are left-handed. And so when I did that, he was like, actually, I think you're better right-handed. So I've been learning right-handed, which is kind of cool, I guess. So
that's awesome.
But yeah,
so Samantha, what's a funny story that your family likes to tell about you that you'd be willing to share?
Yeah, when you sent this over, I had kind of trouble thinking of one, but I didn't have trouble of it. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to share it or not, but I'm going to share it anyway. So when I was younger, I don't even know. I was probably like 7 or 10. I went through a phase where I really liked dogs. And I still like dogs, obviously, to this day. So I used to act like a dog around my house. And my mom thinks it's like the funniest story, my brother, whatnot. But walk around the house acting like a dog. I think at that point in time, I didn't have a dog. And so both my parents were like, we should probably think about getting her a dog so she can stop acting like one. So I'm pretty sure I like had them put my dinner on the floor and stuff. I don't know. It's been a while, but that's kind of a funny story, I guess, about myself. I like to think I have a pretty big imagination, and like I said, that was a long time ago, but I mean, it all kind of plans itself out considering now that I have 3 dogs of my own.
Yes.
So yeah, that's kind of my funny story.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. So tell us, how did the business come about, and at what point did you have the confidence that you could run your own business?
Yeah, so let's see, I have a lot of background in working in senior care in the healthcare setting. So prior to my business, I was just kind of working in different healthcare facilities, senior living facilities. And at the time, um, I ended up leaving after a while. I wanted to kind of get out of that for a bit. And so when I left kind of the senior living facility era, I kind of did something totally different. I worked for a remote company, and I really didn't know what to expect. To be quite honest, I'm a pretty big people person. I like working with people. So I was behind a desk a lot of the time. And it was okay. It wasn't really for me. And so during that time, my grandma had been in a senior living facility. And so I wasn't working in them anymore, but I was going to that one to visit her. And so at the time of her being there, I kind of remember visiting her quite often and kind of having that feeling of like, I kind of want to get back into this, but what do I want to do? I don't know if I want to work for a corporate company. I'm not really sure what I want to do. And so just kind of being at the facility while she was there kind of opened my eyes a little bit, and kind of I think taking a break from it too kind of was eye-opening as well. But I remember kind of towards the end of her stay driving away and being like, okay, I think I want to start doing this again. And so that's kind of where I came up with the idea of, okay, what could I do? And so that's where I kind of figured out, creating a fitness company for older adults. And so that's how I kind of came about through the Ages Fitness. So
Very cool. Well, tell us a little bit more about the company. Say the name again. What do you do? How do you help people?
Yep. So I own a company called Through the Ages Fitness. And what we do is we provide theme-based exercise and brain fitness programs to individuals who are 50 and older, individuals with dementia and memory impairments, and then also people with disabilities. So we work with a whole range of different individuals. What's cool about our approach in our program is that we have a theme that is based around everything that we teach. And so the reason we do this is because it creates memory recall, it helps with reminiscing of the brain, and also social connection. From my past work and my past jobs, there was such like a stigma for older adults. I don't know how often you're going into senior living facilities, but a lot of the fitness that they provide there is so generic and I want to say boring, that when I created this, I really wanted to do something that was fun and that was kind of exciting for them instead of just kind of sitting in a circle passing around a ball. A lot of these people, are already kind of going through a rough patch anyway, and so being able to kind of get them out of that is something that was important to me in creating this new design and this new program. And so like I said, when we go into facilities or we're working with people, we're teaching classes that revolve around a theme. And the best way to kind of put that is going in to teach a class. I believe last week I taught a class and my theme was camping. And so everything that we're doing in the class has to do with camping. So we start from packing the car and doing all the movements that go along with that, and then putting up the tent and then hiking. And so we're kind of telling a story as well and asking questions and engaging their brain, and it gets them thinking, and it gets them excited for when we come there. And they're always wondering what the theme is when we're there. It's always different, it's never the same. And again, that's also very important for people who are aging, because they need to have some sort of, brain stimulation, switch things up, not be the same all the time, especially as they age. So, like I said, we work with a wide range of individuals, from people who have dementia to working with people who are still working maybe, and who aren't retired. And we're able to kind of, work with different levels as well. So we can do classes and programs for people who are wheelchair bound or who are stuck in a chair.
Hmm.
And then we can also do classes for people who can stand, or who actually want to feel a good sweat. And so what's nice is myself and instructors are trained through this approach to kind of, go from one to the other,
Yeah.
and being able to verbally communicate appropriately to those individuals that we're working with. So,
Wow, what an awesome way to make a difference in the community.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I don't have like a physical, I guess they call it like a fitness studio. Um, and I don't know, like right now, that's not something that's kind of on my mind. Um, But a lot of our clientele, some of them can't drive anymore anyway. So we're travel based. And so that's also kind of a good, approach too, is that we're able to come to you and provide everything that they need in the comfort of their own home or their own space. So.
Fantastic. So, share a story, Samantha, where someone pushed you or inspired you that you could do it, maybe even you when you didn't think that you could, and the impact that person had on you.
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking about this when you kind of said the questions over. So I I can't necessarily like think of like a story, but like in regards to people, I think like inspiring me in regards to my business and stuff. Growing up, I was surrounded by a lot of people who were very driven, and in my eyes were successful. And so, that was like my family members. I had a lot of women in my life who always worked hard. My mom and my aunt, and just people that I feel like surrounded by very hardworking women. And then I've got men in my life. My grandfather ran a business his whole life. My dad, tried to start several businesses. And so, I'm around a lot of people who have tried a lot of things and who work hard. And I think, that's kind of inspired me in a way,
Mhm.
to kind of do what I want to do and try new things and kind of challenge myself, and just kind of, seeing people try things and kind of maybe they don't work out, but they keep going, and they kind of keep facing obstacles and just being able to get through it. And so I would say, just kind of growing up, I would say that's kind of maybe inspired my mentality in regards to like running a business. I also worked a lot. So back in the day, like my parents were like, you either need to play a sport or you need to work. So I chose work. And so I think about it a lot too. I started working when I was like 14. And so I feel like I have a lot of background in just working in general. And so just kind of seeing different ways businesses are run, and just kind of being that employee and team player, I think has a lot of inspiration and kind of where I'm at now. So,
So, what's been your biggest learning as a business owner?
ah, a lot of things. No, um, I would say right now, like thinking about my biggest learning as a business owner is processes. As I'm hitting my, 5-year mark, I'm kind of making those big decisions on how do I want to form my business? How do I want it to be? At what scale do I want it to get to? And so I would say right now, my biggest challenge is processes. I think kind of when I started my business, I did it out of kind of the fun of it, which it's still fun. But I think I'm more to a place now where I'm trying to make it into more a career. And so in order to do that, I need to create processes. And so in regards to challenges, I would say not having processes several years back has kind of led me to where I am now and trying to kind of figure out those and establish those. But I would say I'm on the right track. And so I mean you gotta learn from somewhere and from mistakes.
Yes,
So
yes, absolutely you do. So,
yeah.
good segue. We know that business success doesn't happen in isolation. So tell us about one of your biggest challenges over the last few years and maybe somebody who came alongside you and helped you through it.
Yeah. So, you know, um, there's been a lot of challenges in regards to just my business in general. I started it like a year before COVID hit. So that was a huge challenge in deciding whether or not, I wanted to keep going or if I wanted to stop it. And, luckily I wasn't the only one shut down. The whole world was kind of shut down. So, um, I believe like during that time, I found a lot of support in joining a lot of networking groups. I connected with a lot of people on LinkedIn. I couldn't obviously go and teach the classes. We're a very service based company. That's what we do. So I found a lot of connection and connecting with people LinkedIn, learning about other people's business, and kind of building a network of individuals who, we can help each other out. And kind of looking back now, I've kind of steered away, I guess you could say, in the fact of networking. It's something that I've kind of put on the back burner, but I would say right now I do have like I always tell like our clients and stuff, like if you ever need, people to, in different fields of senior living to connect with, I've got a great network. So I would say, kind of building a good network is always helpful in challenging times. Um, family is important too. Having a good spouse, that it's hard, running a business and being by yourself and not having, a team, like just people on your level of talking to that most, businesses have, you've got that kind of social connection. And so, when you're kind of by yourself, it's kind of hard to face some challenges. So I'm thankful for my husband Tom because he he probably struggles with me when I'm struggling. So it's
Yes.
but no, I would say family is a good support. And then in regards to, in the future as well, who can help, me in the future, I would believe, like a mentor is always a good type of person too, that can help get you through things. That's something that I've never done that I would probably recommend for people who are starting businesses is to look into kind of more of a mentorship. I 100% believe it could help. Also, there's, budgeting and finances that go into that, of course, but, kind of using your network to find somebody who can help you and kind of keep you on track. Cause I think that's kind of the difficult part too is,
Yeah.
am I on track? Am I doing the right things and stuff like that? So,
I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit and
okay.
ask you to pick three people in your business owner journey that you're most grateful for them being there to help you with your growth. Who are the three people and how they help you?
Yes. So I've got 6 instructors, so I'm gonna loop them all into one
All
because
right, perfect.
I'll count them as one person. But no, literally without them, we would not be where we are today. And it's crazy just to kind of look back on the journey of everything. But I it's just crazy how awesome, my instructors have been, and, how awesome they continue to be and want to be a part of what I'm doing, and have given me a chance to, you know, teach them, and, let them do their thing. They're all very different individuals. They come from all different places, but they all have that same passion and drive to help others and bring their own uniqueness and vibes to, kind of through the ages fitness. So, and that's kind of a main thing too, is I want different types of people, because not everybody is the same, and being able to each person kind of bring their own energy, I think is very important for what we're doing. So 100% instructors, I'm very grateful for them. My next person is probably going to be my brother Logan. He has helped me tremendously with my business in regards to the background of everything. Through the Ages Fitness, we're a very facey company. So we're always, talking to people face to face. We're teaching classes face to face, but there's a lot that goes into the background of stuff. And unfortunately, when I started this, I did not know all of that. So my brother has a lot of great experience and just education on logistics of business, kind of the importance of kind of running a business when it comes to budgeting and things like that. And so definitely, he's definitely not, much of the face of what we're doing, but behind the scenes, he's been a tremendous help, and he still continues to help when I do have those questions. So thankful for him. And then I thought about this one too, and I think I'm gonna give the last one to myself. So and just word of advice for other business owners, I think that we don't give ourselves enough credit sometimes. It's a lot of work, and so I think making sure that we do give ourselves credit, and just because we go through a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of challenges, and it's just important that we recognize everything that we've overcome, and the things that are going to be better in the future. So I think I'll give myself a pat on the back for that one.
Yes, it's so important to do that. So often we always focus on the negative or the challenges, and don't celebrate the wins. So congrats.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we have our clients do all the time, is make sure that they do give themselves a pat in the back, and celebrate the victories along the way. So great job.
Yeah.
As you think about the next 1 to 3 years, Samantha, what's your number one priority, or what's the challenge that you need to solve in order to achieve your goals?
I would say my number one priority, I'm gonna probably have to go back to processes, because I would say this year that has just been my number one in order to grow my business. I've accepted how I want to move forward with my business, and in order for me to grow it and to get it to where it needs to be, I need to start my processes. And by processes, I mean creating outlines and guidelines for every task that goes on within the daily process of Through the Ages Fitness. And so eventually, that's going to probably lead to, hiring out, new individuals to do those tasks, but definitely creating guidelines and establishing those, and then holding on to them, and then, editing them along the way, because things are always changing too. So and not only that, I want to, grow what we're doing outside of our home base of Indianapolis. So, I can't do all that by myself. And in order to train somebody, there needs to be guidelines and processes. So, I would say that's kind of my next challenge these next 1 to 3 years is all about process.
Process is so important.
Yeah.
What I hear a lot from business owners is they hire people, and then they say that the person can't do the job as well as them. And the first question I ask is, where's the process or the training document
Right.
the video, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have it." I'm like, "Well, that's why they can't do the job as well as you, because you have 5 or 10 or 20 years of expertise in your head, and unless
Right.
you take the time to write it out, nobody knows how to do it."
Exactly. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And like I said, I wish I would have done this maybe a while back, but at least I'm not at my 10 year and not having it done.
Yes,
So
yes, exactly. It's never too late to start, right?
exactly, yes.
Last question, Jim Rohn, great business guru. He's one of his famous quotes is that we become the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. So, as you think about that quote, what advice would you have for business owners who are trying to do it on their own?
Yeah. So, I definitely think being able to accept change is important. Which is can be hard because your business changes, and I think you as like a business owner have to accept, how you want that change to go. And however a business owner chooses, I think is the right path that they're on. But I would say, change is definitely hard, but not also in your business, but you change as a person too. And so being able to kind of accept that, and learn to just kind of accept change, which is just a very hard thing to do, but with change comes better things. So just kind of keeping that in mind. Um, Ask for help. That is something that, I definitely struggled with for a while. Luckily, I'm at a point now where I'm asking for so much help, which I think is great. But definitely you can't do it all on your own. You get really burnt out.
Yeah.
And it's not a fun place to be because I've been there. So definitely asking for help in regards to, adding more staff or just, you know, having a brother who knows what to do, just, asking for help is very important. And then last kind of something I've been working on as well this year is kind of just like taking time for yourself.
Mm.
Because I think that there's, again, going back to the burnout and then feeling those like resentful feelings as a business owner when you get wrapped up in everything that you're doing. You've got more than one job as a business owner, so and that's a lot for one person to take on. So I've myself have been trying to get better at, stepping back, stepping away. And to be quite honest, I think it definitely 100% helps. I feel like I get more done when I do those type of things. Um, so I would say, change, accepting change, asking for help, and just kind of scheduling time for yourself is important. So,
You mentioned burnout a few times, and it's such
mhm.
a huge issue and challenge and problem that culture kind of reinforces, right? There's this work hard culture, or the you know keep going, and the
Yes,
yeah, and it's celebrated and encouraged on social media, and the one of the biggest reasons that businesses fail or go out of business is because the business owner got burnt out. And so I like what you're saying in terms of encouraging people to take time away and relax, and don't do the hustle and grind that everybody's celebrating, because you're right. When we take a break and recharge, we think better, we work better, we can strategize and plan solutions to problems that we're facing. If we're in the hustle and grind mode all the time, we're not at our best. We can't think, we can't strategize, and eventually, right, we run out of steam.
yeah, and and that's something too that, takes time to kind of get out of, because I think I've been doing that for so long that even just, a couple days ago, I got back from a vacation, and these past couple days I've just kind of been dragging a little bit, just trying to get back to just like my routine. And in my head, I'm like, I gotta get these things done. Like, let's go, let's go. But it's like, I'm just slowly getting there. Like, I don't need to push it. I've done that before. I know how that, what happens when that happens. So just trying to kind of rewire your brain to, because you get so much more done when you kind of take that time. And then not only that, you're not feeling resentful, and you kind of find, more passion in kind of what you're doing and more excitement too. So
Yeah, business, one of the things that we talk about is business should give you more life, right?
mhm,
We shouldn't be living to work, right? When we go into business for ourselves, it should be because it's giving us the lifestyle that we want.
right.
And yes, in the first couple years, we have to put in extra time because we're figuring a whole lot of things out.
Exactly.
But after a couple of years, we really have to make that shift and find a better balance in our life. So
Correct.
appreciate you sharing that for everybody listening today.
Yeah.
So Samantha, it sounds like you've been blessed with some good, incredible people in your business owner journey. If they were all on the show here today, what would you want to say to them?
Just thank you for being part of this ride. Um, and I hope that they all continue to be part of the ride further down the road. Because that's my plan. So no, but I'm very grateful for everybody. There's a lot of people that, that I've just like have dealt with for like the past 5 years, whether that's like one person I spoke to for an hour, or maybe somebody I had a connection for 2 months, or, there's different people that come and go. And I think everybody has a place for kind of, your journey as a business owner. And so just being able to, be grateful for that person and that time that they, were part of what you're doing. And the other thing too is just, I do my best to not, burn bridges with anybody either. That's not the way to really do business either. But things, they go out and go their separate ways, and that's okay too. So, but no, as always, just grateful for everybody that's just kind of been a part of Through the Ages Fitness. So
Fantastic. Samantha, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Thanks for being on the show.
yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Self-Made is a Myth show. Please help spread this movement by liking and subscribing to our show and following us on Facebook and LinkedIn. To join our movement, go to bemadtogether.com. Okay, folks, that's a wrap. Please pay it forward and be sure to tune in next time to the Self-Made is a Myth podcast.